Yeah, just a short video showing you where everything is on Trainerize. So this is your dash, and this shows you the things that you have done. So it's tracking your workouts. So that's what's going on up here. Over on the side, you've got the workouts you've completed. You've got an area which will show your progress photos, your cardio workouts, and then your current weight if you've entered this information. We've got recent personal bests over here. So I just went through before and just chucked in some data so that you could see what it looks like. Don't worry too much about the nutrition area because we're doing that separately. You don't need to worry about it being in here. However, you can connect MyFitnessPal and your Fitbit, and that way you can actually start tracking your macros if that's something you'd like to do. And then you have your upcoming workouts scheduled down here. So this is where all your information can be found. So if we click on the training program, it'll bring up the actual program you're doing. Now, if you click on the light blue area, that will actually take you to the exercise or the workout. This is the 1 kilometer walk run test, and please make sure you read up here and make sure that you read any instructions. So the walk run test is pretty straightforward, but if you have a look at the 4x4, there's actually a lot of instructions for the 4x4, and then there's a video that shows you how to do it. So this is me actually completing the 4x4. So it is worth having a watch of that and making sure you are doing it correctly. And you can just turn it on and do it with me, and that's probably the easiest way of doing it. Then you've got a number of tests in here, and if you go down the bottom here, there's a number of other workouts. So make sure you go through and have a look. You'll also see that there are other options. Now, these other options are for people who are doing exercise sessions, weight training sessions that are not part of our program. I will also add in a yoga and Pilates option for you. So you can click on that if you're doing it. You've also got your plank test down here. This is the glute priming or finisher workout. This is a really important program, particularly for mums. During pregnancy, what happens is that our glutes actually atrophy, and that just means they get smaller, and that's because of the way in which our biomechanics changes when we're pregnant. We get a lot of tightness through our anterior chain or our front chain, and we get weakness through the posterior chain, and that's to do with the growing belly and the changes, as I said, in your biomechanics. Once when you can, and you can continue to do this obviously while you're pregnant, but again, post-pregnancy, it's really important to start doing some glute training, and that just makes sure that you are able to strengthen your glutes, and that when you do squats and lunges, you are actually using them efficiently throughout the program. What I used to find was when I was doing squats and lunges and leg press and whatnot, was that I actually was only getting sore legs, and my glutes never were getting sore, and that's because they were fatiguing so quickly that they were not working very effectively in my workout. And by training them in these exercises, and I'm going to add some more in soon, what it actually does is it continues to strengthen them so that when you are doing your lunges, when you are doing your squats, that they're actually working the entire set, and you should start to find that your backside starts to hurt. Now, for the program, I have a link here. This is the glute loop. It is a really wonderful band. It's got a really good resistance to it, and it's made from fabric, so it doesn't slip, it doesn't dig, and that is my preference for it. I also use the Booty Builder bands, and I use that for the frog pumps. You can use it for the banded donkey kicks as well. If you need a band that hasn't got quite so much tension, the Booty Builder bands are really fantastic. So please make sure that you do include this glute program. You can do it before you do your weights, or you can do it as a finisher at the end of your weights program. So these are all of the options for you in your training program. Now, if you click on calendar over here, it actually has a scheduled program for you. Now, if you are unable to do your workout on the day that you want to, you can actually go and add the program. So let's just say, I'll just get back out of here. So let's just say on the Monday, you're meant to do the full body workout. You can't do it on a Monday, so you click over here, click on workout, and then you'll go intermediate full body and add that to your program. And that means you've now done it here rather than on that day. And what you can do over here is, when you actually complete the workout, check in that you have done it, and then you can actually track your stats. Now you hear that little brrr, that, I don't know if you heard that chime, but that chime and that ding is the notification I get that you are doing your workouts, which is really exciting. So track your stats. So in set 1, you might, with the squat, you might do 40 kilo. Oops, sorry. You might do 10 reps at 40 kilos. In set 2, you might have done 10 reps again at 40 kilos. And then because you're starting to get a bit stronger, you've added in a third set, but you were only able to get the 8 reps in, but you kept the weight at 40 kilos. With your bench press, you might have done 8 reps at 30 kilos. You might have done 8 reps at 30 kilos. And again, you're adding in that extra set now, but you couldn't quite get 8 reps. You did 4 reps at 30 kilos. And so then you go save. And that has now given me some additional data. And that data is really good. If you are going to continue on with us into the VIP program, 31 Strong, the more data I have, when I actually program for you, I can be very specific because I can see what weight you're doing and I can actually start to give you some weighted targets rather than sort of guessing. So what you'll see down here is that I want you doing 2 sets of 10 at about 80 to 85%. So you should be working at about an 8 or 9 out of 10 for every single set. You shouldn't get to the end of your sets and be thinking, oh, that was okay. You should find that you're really having to give that final set a little nudge, like it should be quite difficult. Now over here you have an ability to add some notes, and you might say, felt really good today. Next session, aiming for 10 reps on the last set. And that's just a way of reminding yourself where you're up to and what you want to be achieving. And then you can get out of there. With your fitness tests, when you click on them, check in and have a listen to the little chime that I get. And we're going to track your stats. Hopefully you heard that. So they're the chimes that I get and the dings that I get. So now we want to track your stats. So in terms of the reps, how many you did, I'm really stoked. Actually, the other day I did 25 reps for my burpees. I'm going to save that. I'm going to add over here, push for 26 next time. So I'm going to save that. All right, and save. So I now have a result for my burpee test, and we might go 1 kilometer walk run. So I'm going to check in again to say that I've done it, and then I'm going to track my stats. Okay, so the time, let's just say I did it in 6 minutes and 55 seconds. Obviously we don't need to put the kilometers in there, and we don't need to worry about max speed either. What you might do over here is add notes, and you might say max heart rate 165 beats per minute. And so next time when you do the 1 kilometer walk run test, you want to try and obviously improve this and see if you can keep your heart rate even lower than that. And that's really important. When our heart rate goes lower, it means we're more efficient. Our body has become more economical, which means that you're getting fitter. So that's exciting. Oh, no, I don't want to I just discarded it. Damn it. All right, so I'll show it again just to make sure you know. Track stats. I don't even know what I did. 6 minutes, 30 seconds. Save. There we go. Okay, so now we can get out of that one. Now you've got track body stats over here as well. So please be doing this. This is really important because it's very encouraging. Now, if you want to add your measurements, you can add your body weight over here. If you know your body fat percentage, you can add that in. You can do your resting heart rate and your blood pressure. If you don't know your resting heart rate and your blood pressure, you can go to a chemist and ask them to measure your blood pressure. You can also get it at your doctor's. The heart rate that you get when you're at the chemist or at the doctor's is likely to not be your resting heart rate, as it will be elevated from, coffee, the day, whatnot, and even a little bit of stress. Whenever you measure these things, sorry about my dog in the background, whenever you measure these things, it gets slightly elevated because you're thinking about it. If you do have a heart rate monitor, you can have a look at what it is when you're sleeping, and that's your true resting heart rate. Okay. Other things you need to be doing, obviously, is just checking in for, say, your 4x4. So just check in, track stats. So you would go check in. Let's track the stats on this. So the time will never, you don't really need to track any of these. You can put in your distance if you've got an ability to check your distance. But, oh, excuse me. Over here, what you want to do is put in your heart rate. So you'd put in max heart rate of, say, 175 beats per minute. Average heart rate might be 145 beats per minute or something like that. Okay, so just pop those in there so that we know how your heart rate's going. Save it. Okay, so that's pretty much how you're tracking all of the information in your program. Over on the side here, this is how you contact me. So if you want to contact me, you click up here, new, and you're messaging myself, and you say, "Hi, Naomi." Now, if you want to add a photo, what you have to do is click on that, add photo. Now, I can add a photo from my computer, but if you're doing this off your phone, you can actually add your photo from, and that was a ding then, the message that I get to say that I've been contacted. So as you can imagine, I'm getting lots of dings and chimes and all sorts of things going on. It's very exciting. But I can add a photo from my phone. And this is where you add your daily revs. This is where you add your daily work, your schedules. If you have got questions about macros, if you've got questions about anything, this is the best place to put it, because this is where I'm checking all the time. If you do need to email me, though, please email Naomi at eatfatgetfit.com.au, as this is the email that is monitored every single day. So please do use that email. And if you need me, chuck it in there. You can also obviously contact me via Facebook. Make sure you tag me on Facebook so that I actually see that. I get lots and lots of notifications every single day. So don't feel bad if you have to double tag me. So if you tag me and I don't respond, tag me again. If I haven't responded within 24 hours, you absolutely have to tag me again. It means I've missed it. Okay, and this is your progress shots over here. Now, this is important to do these photos. Nobody else can see this other than you and me. And it can be confronting, but you know what? When you see visually what you are not happy with, it's very motivating. And at the same time, when you see things that you want to get back to, that's very motivating. I have this picture of this gravity-defying backside that, to me, it's like the perfect bum ever. And I like looking at that because it motivates me. And even though my own changes in my glutes are very, very slow, because that's just the nature of, weight training, I know I will be, in 12 months' time, if I keep doing what I'm doing, I'm going to achieve what I want. I've just got to keep going. So I go back and I look at the picture of what inspires me, and off I go. I get very inspired by very fit, muscly, strong, healthy-looking women. I think that's really great, and I love looking at that. So these progress shots are important for yourself to help keep you motivated and keep you on track, because if you keep going back to it, if you feel like stopping, if you feel like giving up, and you go back to your original photos and you look at them and they bring you pain, they bring you unhappiness, that's not a bad way to make yourself do what you need to do. You say to yourself, I don't want to feel like this. I don't want to look like this. I'm trying to improve. And so keep going back to those photos to remind you of why it is you're doing what you're doing. And remember, the pain that you do during your training, yes, it hurts. It's uncomfortable. It's not the most fun thing in the world, but it gets better, and you start to really enjoy it, and you start to enjoy how strong you feel and how strong you get. And then the changes will come. And so the pain of the gym is so much better than the pain of disappointment. So keep that in your mind. So put your photos in. Now you've got an ability to do all of your body stats. So body weight, body fat if you have it, and then you've got an ability to put in all of your measurements through here, and then you can also do your calipers if you have that done for you. I don't really like calipers. I find them to be very inaccurate. You can do the same spot twice, like straight after one after the other, and you can get a different reading. So it's not my preferred one. I think circumferences are better, and I think if you can get a DEXA scan, or if you can get a bioimpedance done, so there's Body Composition Queensland, there's in composition or in something or other, and they can do all this sort of testing for you. They're in a lot of gyms. Okay, so as much information about your body as you can put in here, the better, because that helps you track your progress. If all you do is stand on the scales, that is a really terrible way to track your progress, and it is really the best way to undermine what you're doing, because the scales may not change. And that's because you're getting fit, you're getting strong, you're building muscle, you're building bone density, and as you do that, the scales may actually go up before they go back down, and they may not actually go down that much. I don't care what my weight is. You know, in 12 months' time, if I'm heavier than what I am today, I'm not going to be upset, because I know that my body will have improved. I know that my fat mass will have gone down, and I'm trying to lift my muscle mass. So I'm actually actively trying to gain weight. I'm trying to gain muscle mass. And so what the scales tell me is irrelevant. What my DEXA scan tells me is very important. What my bioimpedance test tells me is very important, because I don't care what the scales say. You know, so long as it's my muscle that's going up and my fat mass that's going down, I'm happy. And at some point, my fat mass is going to get to about the 10 kilo target that I want. And then after that, I'm just going to keep actively trying to increase my muscle mass for a few more kilos, and then I'm just going to leave it as is. And so I'm expecting that my weight is going to sit somewhere between 60 and 65 kilos, and I'm going to be perfectly happy with that, because it's not the number on the scales. It is what is my mass in kilos, what is my mass in fat, and that's all I care about. So please be careful of using the scales. All right, so hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully you know where to find everything and how to use this program. So remember, with your training program, you can add in your workout. If we go to calendar, you can add in your workout on a day when it's not scheduled. If you can't do it on the day that it is scheduled, you track your workouts. Put as much information into there as possible. If you've done a cardio or a HIIT-based program, get your heart rates in there. If you've been doing weights in the gym, put the weight in. If you've been doing it from home but you've been using some weights, add that weight in so I know where you're up to. And if you have questions, jump over into the messages area, send a message to me, and double check what it is that you're doing. All right, I hope that has helped with the with Trainerize. If you've got any questions, please let me know.